Hi Ronlings. Today was supposed to be a tent camp. I don't know why I'm pointing over there so soon. Today was supposed to be a tent camp, but maybe, and this is the only window I've got to do it today. I'm back to work soon, so this is the only window I've got to actually get out. So it had to be today or nothing. And the warning was a yellow warning. I don't know how it works in every country, but certainly in the UK it's a green, yellow and red warning, or green, amber and red, like traffic lights. Obviously green is wonderful, and we had a yellow warning, possibility of going into a red warning. So I even drove to where I was going to camp, the forest I was going to camp in, just because I was like really wanted to tent camp today, and I just wanted to, well, you know, maybe, but I went there and the trees were, whoa, they were total widowmakers, and I wasn't going to risk that. And that's the beauty of having the van as a backup. Although I prefer tent camping, I do enjoy doing this, and it's a good backup. It means that I don't look out the window and go, oh, I can't do it. I can say, fine, do it in the camper, the homemade camper. It's better than nothing, and I do enjoy it. So so that's what a fallback is. I'm here at the beach today because because there's no widowmakers on the beach, and also the waves are like really high, quite impressive. So I'll probably film that and show you later, and you can see what I'm talking about, because it's extreme high winds and extreme rain, although it's still raining and it's eased off a bit at the moment. But yeah, so I wasn't going to take the risk. I've had a few comments in the past with people saying, you're worse for not doing this, not doing that. But I think if you go out today camping on a yellow warning, you're an idiot. Yeah, it's all very well being a tough guy and all that, but what's the point of being the toughest guy in the graveyard? So that's today's camp. Not quite what I'd planned. I'm going to enjoy it, and we'll see how it goes. That roof on the back of the van is actually a little bit of a godsend. It's dangling that side lower than that side. It's a godsend, that is, being under here. I'm going to get under here now. That is a godsend. To be able to, before this, before this, if it was pouring down with rain, I'd keep the door shut, simple as that, because obviously the rain would just pummel in unless it was falling directly down. But even on the side door, if it was falling directly down, it would still come in. And it's a bit of a godsend being able to put this roof on the back, and being able to open the back doors and have a roof on. The wind is not coming, obviously it's really heavy winds. If it was coming this way, it would come into the van still, but it's not coming this way. I don't know which way it's coming from, I haven't been outside yet. But it's not coming in that way, so it's staying 95% dry. You know, there is little splashes coming in through the gaps in the doors. In hindsight, maybe one that was really long and went right down, covered the whole door up, would have been better. But you know, it's nice. It allows me to open the doors, be able to look out, and the high winds are making this flap around, which is a result in the result of that is that it's not pooling in the middle, because it would do if it was completely still. It's not pooling in the middle, but the wind's making it flap up and down, and it's keeping the rain off. So even the high winds are sort of helping. That would be a problem if it wasn't high winds, but I've got poles and various things I can shove in the middle to stop that happening. But maybe I'll even do that as an extra precaution later. At the moment, it doesn't seem like I need to. But yeah, that is a godsend. I'm standing on the floor now, under the back. It means I can have the door open and look out at the view, and keep relatively dry. You know, there's, as I say, there's water coming in, but I'm quite happy with the small amount that's coming in. I'm quite happy to live with that. It's not a massive amount, so yeah, pleased with that. Simple thing. I've shown it before. It was off Temu, I think, for £16. It came with these red ones. The 4. The 4's quite good, and I think that's enough in a normal storm, but in a normal weather. But because of the high winds, I've put these extra green ones on. Temu again. These extra ones on, which are just general purpose. They got a hole at the top. Am I showing that? I can't see. They got a hole at the top, so you can put cord through it or whatever, hooks or whatever. And these things here, rather than it being spring clip, you tighten them up and you can get as tight as you want. I just keep them around for, I've got loads. I keep them forever. I keep some in the van, some I bring with me in my rucksack when I'm tent camping. Just general purpose. I've found all different uses for them, and I put them on extra just to keep a little bit of extra stability and stop it because of the winds. You can't hear any winds at the moment, but it is windy. Yeah, it's a little godsend that. It was a game changer from sitting staring at the inside of my van when I know there's a gorgeous view outside, and it allows me to open it up and get that gorgeous view back, which is half the reason, if not nearly all the reason, for doing it. The wind's died down a bit now. It's not as bad as it was when I first got here, and although I just showed you the waves, they're quite violent, but they've died down a lot as well. So, but the rains, although it's eased off, it's still persistent. So yeah, it's still not pleasant, but the wind's died off. I don't know if that's going to be permanent, because if I'd have known it was going to do that, I might have been able to camp, because I don't mind camping in the rain. It's just, I don't mind wind, it's just extreme wind and extreme high weather I don't like. But it seems to have eased off now, but I guess it doesn't matter, it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. I'm here now, and this is where I've decided to be, and that's yeah, because the wind's died down, it's starting to pool in the middle now. That was what was saving it from the roof from pooling. But yeah, so it's died down a bit now, and I kind of think, well, maybe I could have camped. But you know, I'm here now, and what's done is done. I do remember now, I've been saying it, that it said that there's a possibility the winds will drop, but yeah, it's temporary. Is that water? It's temporary, yeah, because it comes and goes in waves, or it can. So now I'm saying all this, I just remembered I saw a segment on TV where it was saying that it would be sporadic and stop and start perhaps. Temperatures really dropping though. Well, I mean, I live in the part of the UK that's like extremely warm all year round really. Even in the winter, it's, by other people's standards, it's fairly mild. Yeah, we're lucky if we get a -2, -3, the odd -5, one off. Well, not one off, but you know, a few weeks apart perhaps. It's not a constant thing. Same with the minus temperatures, then it's not like once it hits minus, it's minus all the time all through the winter. Yeah, you get a minus, a couple of days later it's above, and it's below. It's even, you know, because I'm in the warmest part of the UK, right down in the very south coast. So when I say it's cold, I'm saying it's cold by our standards, because it's dropped to 7 degrees today, and over the past few days, well, I'm not a weather watcher, but according to my car, because that's all the only research, if you can call it research, I put into it. But according to my car, it's been around the sort of anywhere between 10 to 13 degree mark. You know, and this is January in winter. So over the period of 24 hours, it's gone from I think it was 11 or 12 degrees yesterday. It's gone to 7 degrees now during the day. whereas it obviously normally drops a bit at night. This is 7 degrees during the day, which is quite a significant drop in one 24-hour period, and by our standards quite a cold day. Yeah, I'm sure I was supposed to, I'd turn the camera on and say something else, and I waffled and now I can't remember what I was going to say. Obviously it wasn't important. I don't know if that was what I was going to say, I can't remember, but I've got a nice heater in the car, in the van, which is a new addition to this year, because I haven't had in the past. It's this one. I don't know if I showed this before. I might have pointed at it in the background and said, oh look, got a heater on, and I can't remember. But it's just a simple, I can't remember how much it was, like not even 20 quid, somewhere around there. It takes these gas canisters in the kettle, and it goes in there and heats up. I wanted to keep it cheap because I don't use them all the time, because the temperature doesn't call for it all the time. It's not like once you hit winter you've got it on every night, and I don't use it overnight, so I don't want to keep it cheap. I wanted to keep it cheap. It's what I did get a feature that I liked about it, which was hang on, I need another hand. So a feature is that, you know, that's doing that during the day, and you can tip it on its back, and it comes with a little doobry here. You stick that on and you can cook with it. I don't know why I wanted that. I've got like 7 million different ways of cooking already. You know, I've got now I've got an alcohol burner, which enraged people when I said I didn't really like it very much. But I've got an alcohol burner as a backup. I've got one of those little ones that you open up and put a little solid fuel in there. I always bring that with me tent camping as a backup, in case my stove fails, which it never has. And obviously in the tent, in the camp, and I keep that, not all the time, but generally speaking, I keep a lot of my camping equipment in the van anyway, store it in there. And obviously got the 2 burners that I've bought for the van, so I've got like a billion ways of cooking. So why I sort of held out for one that's slightly more expensive because you can cook on it, I have no idea, because I just don't need to. But I just thought, they go back, you can cook on them. Brilliant. I want one that does that. Why? I've got like a million that do that. I'll tell you what though, it does burn through fuel quite quickly. Yeah, it does it, because I've never had one before, so I've had various other ways of keeping the van warm. Not the van warm, of keeping warm generally, because this is my first, it's not the first time I've driven a van. I've driven millions of them. It's the first time I've turned one into a camper. Sorry, the second time I've ever turned one into a camper. And I never used heaters before, so I just bought that because I just wanted the cheapest one I can. And I don't know if that's normal, but they don't seem to last very long, and they seem to stop working before they've actually used up all the fuel. And when you shake them like you do with any gas bottle, it revitalizes it. So I'm finding the stingy me is spending an hour giving it a shake, and it brings it all back online, and it slowly goes, flickers and flickers, just about to go out and give it another shake. So I find myself for about an hour shaking the fire, trying to get every last drop out of it. So yeah, it don't last very long, and it doesn't seem to use up all the gas. That's what come with it. This is made by Parkland, this heater, and it came with Parkland gas bottles as well. Yes, one of the other reasons I bought it, it already came with the gas bottles and I have to faff around with it. I've just bought camping gas ones to replace it, because they've all run out, and I've bought. So I don't know if that's going to be any better. Is it a quality thing, or do they all do that? So I'm going to find that out with the new gas bottles and see if they run them right out and see if they're any better. It didn't quite fit. The new ones, I tried it out and it didn't work. I pulled it, you put a little lever up that pushes pushes it in there and essentially pushes the nozzle down to release the gas, and I pulled that little lever up and it pushed the gas bottle, and nothing happened. And when I looked at both the gas bottles, the Parkland one is a few millimeters longer than the camping gas, so it's supposed to take it, but it didn't. So is that because Parkland are going, no, you got to keep buying Parkland, mate, we're going to make them slightly different so that they don't work? I don't know, but I just bent the little thing that is on the base of the gas bottle. I bent it so that it's pushing it harder, and it worked. So I just bent it slightly so that actually when you pull the lever up, it pushes it a bit harder, and it worked. It was a guess that was the problem, and it kind of makes me think, does Parkland deliberately make them a little bit cheaper, make them a little bit different so that you have to keep buying the Parkland ones? Is that cynicism in me, or what? I don't know, but yeah, it didn't really matter, I made it work. So yeah, it does seem to burn through fuel a lot quicker than I'd like. I think because I've never had it sort of banging out for it, because it warms up the van, even on the lowest setting, warms up the van so quickly. Because I've done the ceiling now. I don't know if I told you, the last thing to insulate was the ceiling. I've done the ceiling now, so everything but the floor, which I don't really care about, doesn't seem to make a difference to anything, is insulated now. Is that why, or would it have done it anyway? Could have been because of the insulation or the small space, I don't know, or both. But you only have to have it on for a little while, and the inside of the van is boiling. Even when I had it at -3 degrees, the inside of the van is boiling in no time, and you've got it on the lowest setting, so you just got to turn it off. So I don't know, I've never ran it constantly because it gets too hot, so I don't know how long it goes for. At an absolute guess, I would say you maybe get 3 hours out of it maximum, if you had a maximum. That's an absolute guess. So, you know, you could easily burn through 2 cans in an afternoon if you was. Yeah, that's me just putting it on in the evening, which seems a bit, you know, a bit a lot really. Seems a bit a lot. I don't know. As I always say though, it's just a bit of fun. It's just a bit of a lark. Don't take it seriously. I don't. So tonight's viewing, as I said, I wasn't excuse me, I wasn't expecting to be here this evening, but to preempt the fact that at some point I would be spending it in the van, because I actually do a lot more, how do I put this, I do a lot more camping than you see on the channel. Just recently, not so much, because we've had a bit of a family tragedy and I've been doing that all the time, so I've been busy sort of visiting family and stuff, so I've had less time on my hands. So when I've come back, I've done, you know, I've put it straight on the channel as soon as I got back. But I do a lot more camping because I don't film every camp. Sometimes I just can't be bothered. I don't really know why. I just think I just want to camp and not do anything. And more so with van camps. Certainly with the van camps, I do a hell of a lot of van camps, so I don't record it. And sometimes I just feel I want to. I enjoy the filming and I enjoy the camping, but sometimes I don't enjoy. Not I don't enjoy. I just don't want to do one or the other, one or the other. I don't want to do the filming, and sometimes I do want to do filming, and so and I do a lot of van camps without filming. I don't know why. Perhaps I feel there's not as much content in a van camp. Could that be it? It's not as interesting With the van, you've got the same equipment every time. You know, I'm not going to keep ripping out a kitchen and putting a new kitchen in every time I go camping. So maybe there's not as much to show you. Maybe. Is that it? I don't know. I've never really broken it down and analysed it. I just go camping. Sometimes I think, don't want to film. Go. Sometimes the filming is what makes you want to do the camping. Now I think about it. Sometimes I really want to film stuff and do all my shots, and then obviously to do that I've got to do something, so I go camping. I've never thought of that. That's a strange one. That's what sometimes it shows me the filming has become, it never was before, but it shows me the filming has just become just as much fun as the camp itself, or at least sometimes is. Because when I first started the channel I was just purely wanting someone to talk to. You know, I wasn't lonely, I just found myself commenting about things out loud, you know, well that's a nice view, and then thinking, ooh, I feel a bit of a pill up there because there's nobody here to hear that, and I just felt stupid. So the reason for the filming was literally just so I could say this stuff to the camera and not feel so stupid, because look, I'm going, look, even though there's nobody there, I'm going, look, you know, I'm telling the camera this, not, yeah, it's not, I'm not talking to myself, I'm honest. So it is, it started purely so I didn't feel like an idiot, but now I actually find that I'm enjoying it and seeing it as much as a part of the camp, almost as important sometimes, which is interesting. But anyway, that's not why I've just gone off track again. But I bought this, not necessarily for the van, but I bought it because I wanted it, and then thought I'll stick it in the van first, because I'd rather have it in, you know, if I'm in the house and I want to watch it in the house, all I've got to do is go to the van. But if I'm in the van and I want to watch it, then I can't go home and get it. So I put it in the van first, and I'm glad I did, because it's a BBC British comedy called The Young Ones. It's very old, and when I was a kid, it was even older than I am, because when I was a kid it was repeats or reruns, like times 3 over. But I think it's really great. It's an anarchic group of students living in a flat and just basically trashing the place, but in a funny British way. So that's nice viewing, although I did go off, did digress a lot just to say that, but hey, I like to chat. Well, the wind's dropped like considerably. It's on and off, as I said earlier, but it's dropped considerably, but the rain hasn't let up. Well, I say the rain hasn't let up. It's eased off a bit, but it hasn't stopped. It's just constant all the time. But it has calmed down a bit. So it's calmed down quite a lot. So I can't help thinking I might have been able to tent camp But when I first came out, it was really seriously windy. But you know, it is what it is. I've done it now. It's not like I'm not enjoying this. It's just I really wanted to get out in the tent, but you can't see what's going to happen down the line. I was going by what I saw on the news, what I heard on the radio, and what I saw when I actually went out. But now it's eased off just to a rain. And on the beach, you know, if it ain't windy on the beach, then in the forest I was going to go in, it wouldn't have been windy at all. But what can you do? You know, you can't see these things. I didn't want to put myself in any danger. See the lights fading now. We're at 4 o'clock. Half an hour it'll be almost dark. Too dark for filming, certainly. Another half an hour on top of that, it'll be pitch black. I might give you a quick 360 before I you know, before it gets too dark. Sorry, I'm distracted by other people turning up in the car park, because I'm in a car park. Well, you wouldn't believe it, because the seas are like just there. It's actually, you can get pretty close to the sea. Today's, whoa, you're a bit sort of, that's better. Today's 360. I'll start in the van. That's where I'm in the van looking that way. So that's where I'm going to start today. Oui. And there I am. Yeah, so there you go, that's my 360. That's my today's environment, albeit wet. Thought I'd give you that before it gets dark. So I suspect, if not in half an hour, certainly an hour, I'll be shutting everything up, because what's the point of having the doors open if I can't see anything. I thought I'd give you that before the light fades. I just recorded for like a whole segment there, prattling on for ages, and then realised that well, I did record it, but then went round the back to delete something, and I thought I was deleting something else, and I actually deleted what I just recorded, which is what I wanted to keep, not what I wanted to delete. Anyway, so I'm going to do it again, but because I've got no script and make stuff up, it won't be what I said before. There's a core thing that I want to say, but all the rest of it I can't remember what I said. I never can. But today's food, I don't know if this is going to be dinner. This is what I was going to say. This is the main thing I was going to say. I don't know if it's going to be dinner, because if I don't like it, obviously I'm still going to be hungry. It's only a pot noodle, so if I eat the pot noodle I might not be hungry. I don't know how filling it is. So this may or may not be dinner, I don't know. But it's a Merry Pot Noel sort of noodle, and Pot Noel gravy and stuffing. My partner bought it because she thought it'd be very festive. Nobody's touched it. I don't like stuffing, so I'm hoping it smells like stuffing. So I'm hoping it's, you know, you always get stuff that claims to be a certain flavour and you taste it and go, oh, that's nothing like it. I'm hoping it's nothing like it, because I don't like stuffing. But yeah, and it reminded me that I didn't sorry, I'm just checking the canopy's still there. It's really blowing hard outside now. It reminded me that I didn't do anything festive for Christmas, and I didn't do anything for New Year's because of the death in the family. That took up kind of all my time, and I had all these plans to do stuff. Yeah, not because I felt I had to, because I wanted to. I didn't do anything last year, but I felt I really wanted to this year, and I had all these thoughts about doing it. When I first started the channel, I did a car camp before I had the van, and I did a Christmas one there where I had Christmas lights up and the hats, and I put a cracker, and I made a Christmas meal, and I really enjoyed it. Nobody watched it, but I really enjoyed it. So I wanted to do that again, and if nobody watched it, I couldn't care because I really enjoyed it. But I didn't do that, and I had some ideas to do stuff for the new year. I was going to let fireworks off on the new year, or whatever camp I was doing, van or tent. And it all just couldn't do it because I just spent the whole time up visiting family and doing stuff for the family and stuff. So hey, maybe not next year, maybe this year, end of this year for Christmas. So merry belated Christmas and merry belated Happy New Year. And this is as festive and as near to Crimbo as I'm gonna get. And I said a bunch of other stuff on the last one that I deleted. Can't remember what it was because I improvised the whole thing. So but that's the main message. And saying that I'm going to give this a try, and it may become dinner, it may not, who knows. Well, it was quite nice. It was the best way to explain it is it was a bit like strong gravy flavour, you know, like just like gravy you put on your Sunday dinner, but with a bit of strength flavour wise to it. So it wasn't actually that bad. Not my first choice of pot noodle, because I quite like pot noodles, but yeah, it didn't taste. It had a stuffinglessness to it, but it wasn't really like that. Thank God, because I wouldn't have eaten it. And it was a big one as well, so I'm very stuffed. It's now 5 o'clock, so it's quite a few hours till bedtime. So I might feel a bit peckish before that. I've just received the news that my partner is free. She couldn't come. Normally she comes with me, but she couldn't come today. But for various reasons she's able to come, and she's actually going to drive up here. She's driving up here now. We have an app. I asked to have an app so that she could see where I am, or at least where my phone is, at all times, because when you're doing stealth camping in a tent, which is what I am, I'm in some really ludicrous places, and you know, phoning up the old ambulance would be hard to tell them sometimes where I can if something went wrong. So I asked if I could use an app where she can find out where I am at all times, and then she said, well, can we have it so that we know where each other is all the time, because that sounds like a good idea. If she's in any trouble, I can keep a track of her as well. So she's told me she's coming down, and the useful thing about that is I can, if I'm making, I can have a drink ready for when she walks right up to the van, because I know exactly when she's coming home, because I see exactly where she's coming home. So that's quite a handy little app to have. For me, as I say, it's a safety thing when I'm camping in places, but for slightly more trivial things such as this, it's nice to actually see exactly when it is she's going to turn up, because I can actually see how far away she is, and as I say, in this case, get a brew on the go for when she walks in, rather than to do it, yeah, after she walks in the door. Trivial thing, important going this way for me, but trivial going the other way. But nonetheless, it's quite a handy little app. So she's going to turn up in the middle. She's going to turn up in the middle, and I'm going to be on the end. She's going to turn up in a minute. Right, no, you blurred on and off, doesn't matter. Now the missus is here. I'm going to have a little bottle of bubbly, because we were going to have this last night, which was New Year's Eve stroke into the morning, but it got really late and we just didn't bother opening it. So we had some mulled wine, but we didn't have this. So we're going to open it now, rather belated, but nonetheless quite good. I just want to show this glass. Where did we get it from? Go Outdoors, was it? I think.
I can't remember.
Can't remember where we got it from. But these little wine glasses are really cool, because that acts as a lid, keeps all the dust and guff out while you're not using it, and then it pops off and becomes a base. And then Bob's your uncle. We've got not particularly exciting colours, but yellow and a grey one. Right, because it's raining, normally I like to pop it out the window and measure how far it went and go and get it. But because it's raining, I'm not going to open this outside. So I'm just going to hope that I can pop it in. Oh, there she blows.
Sorry. It scares me a little bit, that.
I knew it was coming, but... Right. So I'll let yours fuzz up and then give you more while
Yeah.
I'll do mine and what dies down.
Thank
That's
you, my darling.
one. So as I stated earlier, you know, I couldn't give you a Happy New Year episode because of everything that was going on. So this is going to have to do as a belated Happy New Year celebration. So cheers, my love.
Cheers.
Happy New Year to you, and Happy New Year to you. It sounds very end of film. It's not. But it's still quite early on my watch. Look, still quite early yet. Right, so we've had drinky poos, something to eat, watched the movie, and it's time for bed. So nothing more to say than I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Nice nice cup of coffee on the go. It was I don't know what temperature it got down to last night. I wouldn't be surprised if it was hitting the minus or was near to it. So we had to dig out the camping sleeping bags, the old down sleeping bags, which I actually incorrectly used as a duvet. I unzipped it and pulled it over like a duvet, thinking that would be sufficient, but I wish I'd have got inside it with hindsight, because all night I was pulling it to try and stop. I could feel air coming in, ice cold air coming in, and I kept sort of pulling it down to try and seal that gap, and then I'd move and then I could feel it again and I'd pull it down, and I wish yeah, when it's not really cold, it's okay to use it as a duvet, but when it's that cold, I wish I'd have actually used it as a sleeping bag and I'd have been sealed in nicely and been a lot more warmer. But lesson learned. So next time I'm going to jump in the sleeping bag when it's this warm, this cold. But other than that, it was fairly comfortable. I need to do something about the bed. Is just old cushions from an old sofa, which is not the most comfortable either. It was just quick, cheap, free, easy. That's something I want to rethink as well. It's not so bad when I'm on my own, but when there's both of us, and when we're Tetrising all the sofa cushions in to make a bed, and you tend to sort of slip into the middle where there's no real support, where one sofa cushion meets the other, and then you sort of slip into that bit, and it's really uncomfortable and it hurts my back and hip, and so I have to sort of claw myself back into the middle, which is quite comfortable if you can stay there, but then during the night I inevitably sort of roll over or move and I slide back in between the two cushions again, and then I end up when you do that, you basically haven't got anything underneath you, because it crushes the edges of the sofa cushions down. So it's a bit of a difficult one, but it's expensive to replace them. So but it's something I'm increasingly finding myself wanting to do with every time we camp. Small things. I mean, I you know, on the whole it wasn't too bad. I wasn't really cold per se, just a little bit of a draft coming in, and cold I think is worse, arguably worse than being uncomfortable. Yeah, so it wasn't too bad. The storm's gone. There's no it's completely still and silent outside. Last night, although it was quite rough, I could hear the waves crashing in and coming out and crashing in. It was a lovely sound, and that really helped me. I was just lying there listening to that, and I nodded off really quick, so that was nice. But it's completely still now. You can't hear anything. It must be a really calm sea. I'll go out there later, but I haven't been out there. But it must be a really calm sea, because I can't hear anything. It's completely still. No, the rain's gone, the wind's gone. I can't hear the ocean. So although it was quite nice to drift off to. Right, and that's this morning's checking in this morning. What a glorious morning after the contrast of yesterday. Look at that sky. Blue sky. And look at the sun. I can't even look at that, but I can point the camera there. Really bright sun, and there's not a cloud in the sky. The difference from yesterday, the stormy weather and the wind and the... I don't even need that one. It's not cold enough. For the stormy weather we had and the wind and the constant rain, and now it's like a summer's morning. The sea's calm now. The sea's even a different colour. Yesterday the sea was like a greeny grey colour, where all the seabed was being churned up and brought in. But now it's all calm. It's all the water's gone blue. Lovely blue water and calm sea. Look at that. Much calmer this morning. It's like a summer's day. How gorgeous. Look at that. That's lovely. Because it's quite calm, I couldn't actually hear the water this morning. So, there you go. Well, we're going to have a little bit of a cheat actually. Instead of cooking in the van, we're going to actually go and get some breakfast. Because there's a cafe nearby. They're going to go and get some food from there. Because we looked out the window of the van and thought, oh, that sort of motivated us to go and get some grub and look out the window of the cafe. But what a lovely backdrop, hey? There's the sun. There it is. Gorgeous. We're going to go for a little walk on the beach before we go for breakfast, and then I guess go home after that. There's nothing much to do more. After that we've got to get back soon, so I'll catch you in a minute. I was gonna film having the breakfast in the cafe, and then sign off while I was in the cafe, and I completely forgot. I was so busy chomping on my food that I completely forgot. So I drove home, and on the way home I was like, oh, I didn't sign off. So I'm signing off now. It was a good camp. I'd rather have done a tent, but weather stopped me. Although the weather's gorgeous now. I'm back to work tomorrow, so it'll be another 4 or 5 days before I go out again, because I've got to go back to work. So it's just signing off, saying goodbye. I apologise for not being able to be in contact with you over the Christmas and the New Year. I was intending to do camps and I couldn't for various reasons, but everything should be fairly back to normal now. I'll be back to my regular camps and banging out a lot more videos and lots more often, because things are relatively back to normal. There might be some gaps where I'll have to do various things, but it'd be pretty much back to normal. And so I'll just say once again, happy belated Christmas and happy New Year, and thank you for everyone that's subscribed so far. It's been another amazing year, and I do still reply to every comment, because all of you are really so important to me. No matter what the comments are, it's still very important to me, so thank you very much. Happy New Year, and let's see what the new year brings.